Welcome back to Face the State. I'm Ariana Bennett. Thank you for staying with us. According to the U.S. Census, nearly 10% of Nevadans have some form of disability. And when those get diagnosed in childhood, that leaves the parents with a lot of questions and often in need of some help. So that's where Family Ties of Nevada comes in. Mary Meeker, the Executive Director of Family Ties, is here now to talk about that. Mary, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, so for those who have never used the services, tell me what Family Ties does.
Family Ties of Nevada is a statewide nonprofit organization. We are a affiliate of a national organization, Family Voices, and our focus, our mission is really to help families have sort of a centered approach to care for children that have a diagnosis of special health care need. So really any type of special health care need, we work as a resource hub for families who just don't know where to turn and need help. That could be from healthcare to therapy to an IEP in school, anything like that.
So kind of you're the connector between resources that already exist but that might be a little harder to find. Is that the idea?
Absolutely. And so often when a family receives a diagnosis, they don't know where to turn. They may have medical insurance, but they don't know where to start. It's overwhelming. There are other children sometimes in the family that are impacted by what's going on, and that dynamic changes. So Family Ties really provides sort of a platform for training, for information for families, emotional support as they start this journey in trying to find care and help for their child.
And you help quite a few people. I can't remember exactly what you said the number was, but it's in the thousands, right?
Right.
So how many people and who are these people?
In 2017, it was about 1,200 families that we were able to help here between Washoe County and Clark County. And these families really are everyday families. There's nothing that necessarily sets them apart except that they have a child that has some additional needs that need some help. So they turn to us. It could be to process a Medicaid application. Perhaps they're not eligible for Medicaid, and so we look at a program called Katie Beckett. They may need an advocate for school with their IEP for their child. They may have a child that has a mental health issue and they don't know where to turn. We know that statistically, when it comes to the mental health arena, that there aren't a lot of resources available for children in Nevada. So they look to us to try to find those types of resources. We partner with a lot of other agencies, a lot of other nonprofits to try to get that help. So we may have a family that comes in and has a child that's been diagnosed with autism. And that family then we may refer to a place like Easter Sills or Nevada Early Intervention Services, places like that, to really get them the best possible care for the best possible outcome.
It's a really interesting concept, I think, that you wouldn't necessarily think about this gap that's needed to be filled between doctor diagnosing and resources that are available. Kind of this space where parents maybe have to do a bunch of research and go online. They don't know what's reputable, what isn't. How exactly did Family Ties, the concept, get created?
In 2001, there was a family, the Donnell family, who really saw that there was a need for this type of support. And in 2001, they started the organization as a nonprofit. There were no paid employees at that time. In fact, Cheryl Donnell, who was the founder, worked for a few years without any kind of monetary compensation to get this going. And so with that, they started to apply for federal grants and state grants, and it has since evolved over the last 17 years into the agency that it is today.
And now, without these services, what's the worst case scenario for parents that you've seen?
My concern without having the training and the parent-to-parent support that we provide, and the emotional support, is that families quickly become overwhelmed. They don't know where to turn. They may not realize that there are options available to them that will not only help them in terms of things like respite care, finding the best approach to whether it's physician or mental health issues, that kind of thing. And so the concern is that child may not have the best balanced care. The family, we really look at Family Ties, we really look at the family as a whole. And if there's a child in the family that is diagnosed with special health care, those other family members also are carrying additional weight, they're additional stress, things like that. And so we really want to look at the family as a whole and get them the best help for the best possible outcome.
And on top of the counseling, which I'm sure is hugely beneficial, Is there financial help too with affording some of the stuff that I know it can be expensive?
It can be. So we may have a family that comes to us that their initial issue is that the child has a special health care need, but perhaps they need help with shelter. It could be a housing issue. It could be food. We're seeing a lot more of that type of thing where families are coming in, just their basic necessities or basic needs aren't being met. So we look to places like Catholic Charities. There's a lot of different places that will offer some sort of support. Nevada Energy does offer some assistance with power bills and things like that. There are places that will offer so much monetary assistance towards moving expenses and things like that. So first month's rent, that kind of thing. So there is some help. Family Ties is really just the resource hub. We put families in contact with those types of places.
So these are things I never would have thought of. So
Right.
that's actually, it kind of emphasizes why it's important, because it never would have occurred to me to ask the power company for help with a power bill.
Right.
But that would be a great resource.
Absolutely.
So how is what you do funded?
We are funded 100% through grants and donations. And that is a concern always in keeping the organization open, our doors open, the sustainability of the organization, in that at the federal level we are concerned about some of the cuts that have taken place or the trend that we're seeing in terms of cuts. So for example, when CHIP was out of money in late September, the concern there was, if we're seeing those types of programs run out of money, what does that mean for an agency like Family Ties? Well, we really do serve a purpose. We aren't direct care providers, and what does that mean for us? Mm-hmm. So definitely concerned about our federal funding, state funding, and those types of cuts that we're seeing, because we are reliant 100% on grants.
So do you know for sure that your funding is getting cut, or is it just a concern that that could happen?
It's a strong concern at this time. We just submitted for the next competitive year, and we won't know in probably until March, but I do have some significant concerns regarding that.
Okay, so if people see this and they want to help you, how can they get involved?
Well, there's a couple different ways. We're always looking for volunteers, families that might be able to identify with other families in the same situation. So we're looking to really increase our number of families in our parent-to-parent program. So we have a family that calls and maybe has a situation where they need other support, and so we put them in contact with other families. That's one way. Monetarily, donations are always welcome, and they can donate right to Family Ties of Nevada. And that helps us then be able to fund programs in the rural areas, being able to get out to places like Elko and Ely and places like that, to be able to provide the same kind of support where resources really aren't as robust as they are in Washoe and Clark County.
Okay, we've got just about a minute left. So if someone sees this and they think, man, I'm in this situation, I need some help, how do they reach out? They can come to our office at 3710 Grant Drive, Suite B. They can give us a call at 775-823-9500. They're welcome to email, call, anything that is convenient for them. We'll set up and work around their schedule and that, so they can get the help they need. And no big requirements? Anyone can call? Anyone can call. Okay, Mary. Absolutely. Well, is there anything else you want to add before we Not at this time, thank you. All right, Mary, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sure appreciate it. Appreciate it. Well, that is it for this episode of Face the State, but for more information or to see past episodes, you can just head to our website. That's ktvn.com. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you next week.